Alright everybody, welcome back. I am Aaron Heiser of Maker's Leather Supply, and we are going to start a little series of videos to make this bag right here. We're calling it the Boujee Backpack. I absolutely detest the word bougie, but it seems to be the word that everyone's using to describe something new, cool, and fancy, or upscale, or something. I don't know. Anyway, my wife and daughter use it all the time, so decided to call this bag the Boujee Backpack. Couldn't think of a better name. Alright, so it'll be broken down into several different videos, but I'll give a brief overview of the bag and talk about the different videos that we're going to do. The first one we're going to do is going to be all the tooling that you see. Okay, so tooling on this, border on this area up here, the border and the lattice work on the main body here. So yeah, that'll be today. We'll get all that tooling taken care of, and hopefully even some of the coloring, which will be its own video as well. I did some things to really tie in the colors of this bag. First off, it's made out of 3 pieces of veg tan. The handles can be made out, or the straps are just made out of dark brown. It's kind of an oil tan that we carry. I love making straps out of this stuff. It's great. Anyway, and then the bag body itself is kind of a chap leather, I guess you could say, chap and bag type. I don't know, 5-6 ounce, somewhere in there, but very very floppy and usable. Anyway, it makes a pretty good little backpack to carry around. I made one for my wife when we went to Vegas earlier this summer. And she really liked it, but there were some flaws, as there always are on the first thing I make of anything. I always tell her, don't take the first one, take like the third of something I make. It takes 3 to make it right. So so anyway, here's the third one. So a lot to bring in the purple, and I did cut out the lattice work so that it could you know, just show off some more of the color and stuff that's part of this bag. But anyway, the first video we'll do the tooling. The second one we'll do is going to be some coloring and dyeing and antiquing. And then the third one will be starting to construct the bag itself. But after we antique, we can't cut out this lattice work until after we antique, because otherwise it just makes a huge mess with the antique. I use antique paste from Phoebing's currently, and if you're not using the Phoebing's paste, then maybe you'll want to go ahead and cut them out and then antique. But with that paste, I mean, it just globs of it get into those squares if you've already cut them out. So anyway, I'll show you a really great way to cut those out. I just use a wood chisel, and it works greatly. And it doesn't need to be a nice wood chisel. In my wood shop, I've got some very, very nice fine-edged wood chisels, and I wouldn't dare use them on this. I use my $20 set of DeWalt wood chisels from Home Depot, and even those are pretty fancy compared to what you really need to cut. Coloring video. And then one of the last video we'll do making these tassels and braiding the 4-part cord here that goes onto it. You don't have to use a 4-part cord, you don't have to make tassels, but it adds to the fun. And again, it's one more way to bring the color of your bag piece together. Here is the paper pattern that came out for this bag. It's pretty big. Okay, again, Boujee Backpack. We had a long discussion on how to even spell that word. We looked it up using people's hashtags and stuff on Instagram, and this seemed to be the most common spelling of that word. So anyway, but veg tan, veg tan, veg tan. Okay, and then this big old weird funny shaped piece down here at the bottom, see where it says really big letters? This is half of the pattern. So you'll take that soft leather, fold it in half, and cut this shape out of 2 layers at once, and it makes your job faster and easier, and then the 2 sides also will be more symmetrical when you do it that way. I did include an extra copy of the tooling pattern on here. just so you don't have to cut up this piece to get your tooling pattern out of it. Okay. One of the hardest things for me to draw was this lattice work pattern. If it was a simple over and under, I could do it pretty easily, but it's an over under with spaces in between, and my mind just can't concentrate on that many lines at once. I would constantly, as I was drawing it out on the computer, I was constantly mistaking a blank space for a line and stuff like that. But anyway, I'll show you how we tooled the woodwork into it. One thing I did change on the pattern as opposed to this bag is I didn't make the lattice work wrap around the bottom of the bag. Because if you're using a little bit, the first one of these I made was like 9-10 ounce, so very heavy leather. When I made it out of this probably 5-6, 6-7 ounce here, it seemed almost like it's a little bit weak down here where the swivel cuts are cutting that, and I don't want that to happen. So I brought the lattice work up to about just almost to the bottom of the bag, and I think that's going to work out a lot better. So on your pattern that you're holding, if you have the pattern, that's about where the lattice stops, is about right there. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and post this little video so people can see what we're doing, and over the next couple of days, this is going to be a fun project. You don't have to be a master leather worker to make this thing at all. Just follow along, you'll do fine with it. If you're a hand sewer, I'm sorry, there is a lot of sewing to it, but you can easily make this bag hand sewing. It just takes a little bit longer, okay? Yeah, other than that, there's a million ways to make it, and I'll show you how I do it. We'll talk to you soon.